Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Matt and John Make a Podcast. This is episode 36. Before we start, I would like to thank you all to have been tuning in to our weekly reaction shows, and also to those who tuned in for the for the for the MP show, as it's now referred to
for
as
for now,
for now.
because it's going to
But
change.
yeah, obviously we are going through some changes there. I am going to be a a like a weekly host on that every Friday as of now. So as always, stay tuned for that. As we continue to work through all of that.
Yeah,
But
if you can't get enough of both of us on Saturdays, you're going to get both of us plus one more on Friday. So two
yeah,
shows with the same people makes sense.
right. And as we kind of talked a little bit on that show, we're going to be discussing more in depth about everything that has gone down this week. What all of these cuts means for the WWE and for the pro wrestling industry in general. We're going to really just completely dive in what some of the positives could be, um, as we when everything does get back to hopefully what it should be, which is hopefully back to back to live shows with actual crowds. Which, man, like, I'm losing my freaking mind without these, but it's just kind of the situation that we were in. But Matt, I think that we should definitely start off with the passing of Howard Finkel, and and we also touched on this on the MB show with Brian, but we'll dive in a little bit more with that. Matt, what thoughts do you have? Any past memories
I
that you that you look fondly on?
um just in general, I think he was one of the best announcers they've ever had, easily, and probably one of the best announcers in like combat sports, if you will,
Mhm.
easily. I mean, there's some good ones, but he's
Mhm.
easily top three, if not the number one. Um, and it's hard to
I
change.
I don't think that there is really anyone who comes close. Yeah, you could throw in guys such as Michael and Bruce Puffer, who is the announcer for Dana White
And
and
they're both
and
iconic,
the
yeah.
UFC. And to me, they are right up there. But man, think like especially for me too. I have been going back the last like month or so, and just seeing these old WWF shows with his iconic voice, um, uh, uh, announcing announcing Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. It really just brought so much energy with the show, and just all of that nostalgia that you would consistently feel. It's just, man, it puts a damper into which what was already a pretty shitty week in the industry. So my heart and thoughts and prayers go out to him, and also his family, to the WWE and their family. It's a pretty bad time in hell. Like, it's never a good time when something like
Yep.
this happens. But for me specifically, who I have been watching since since about 1998. So, like, it's just another wrestler gone from my childhood, which it just kind of sucks. Like, you see guys such as Piper and like all of these names. I'm like Mean Gene's gone. it doesn't get any easier, but it's just and so supposedly too mad. He suffered a stroke, I think, a few years ago or something like that, and just
something like that. I don't.
yeah. But like supposedly that his health was really declining over the last year. I think I vaguely recall from last year's WrestleMania that there was a few people who said like that he wasn't doing well. That he was definitely going through a lot. So it sucks. That's all. That's all that you can really say. It just sucks.
Yeah, and yeah, it was just a bad. It's just a bad week this week, and like we mentioned before, and we talked about on Wednesday and yesterday on the MB show that all the cuts and furloughs from WWE, a ton of wrestlers and ton of several producers, agents, and various other people.
Yeah.
It just sucks. I mean, at least with the agents, they're at least furloughed and they could come back. I think their benefits are paid, or health benefits are paid. I think what I say, June 1st.
And I also think with that it was reported the other day with Sean Ross Sapp that basically for all of the NXT people who get cut, they get paid 30 days after that they get cut, and then after that, obviously they won't be receiving a paycheck after that. So, but and we saw a few more names who got cut. NXT people, people who weren't really on TV too much, but you kind of had a feeling that more of those people were going to be cut. And I preference this by saying this again. I feel sorry for everyone who is losing their jobs, and it's just a really bad time to not have a job. But as I said on the MB show, both NXT and with Raw and SmackDown, the roster has been overcrowded for years. There's just way too many wrestlers on Raw, SmackDown, and especially NXT. Like there's like so many people who have signed who haven't even debuted for a long time. I believe because more specifically I remember the likes of Chelsea Green. She was basically signed for almost a full year, and she hadn't even really been on TV. It's just like, and there has been a lot of wrestlers like that. It's just they just have, to me, people who are in the back and I'm catering and who are not being used. And I believe that one of the reasons why Vince fired his two top executives was because I believe if you believe all of the rumor and innuendo, that's supposedly they thought that the company was spending way too much on their talent, and they were absolutely right. Like just the amount of agents and producers and just the amount of guys who were in the back just doing nothing. It's staggering. Well, don't you think about it?
Yeah, they have a lot of people that, like Primo and Epico are like the best example. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw him on Raw, SmackDown,
I
or
mean,
a pay-per-view.
Like, between them, Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, here I'm gonna bring up EC3. Like what the hell happened?
Was he? Did he? I think he was hurt. Was he hurt recently?
I don't think so. No, I think he's been there. Heath Slater hasn't been used. Aiden English.
Well, he was announcing. Wasn't he announcing on 205 Live?
On a like a part-time basis. I think it was. I don't think he was a full time. I could be wrong about that, but I don't believe that he was a full time. I mean, Rusev has been in and 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 what was described as a contract dispute. So like that was constantly back and forth. But the names that stunned me the most were definitely Gallows and Anderson, especially two. These guys they just signed contracts, I believe, back in September, and supposedly their contracts ran through 2024.
Yeah, that
And
one. Yeah, that one was a
the,
shock.
not to mention, they were in the main event on night one of WrestleMania.
Yeah, but
That,
what a
that
way.
really shocked me.
But yeah,
And
what a way to go out. I mean,
right,
in a way, it makes sense if you think about it, because they kind of
mhm,
all like pretty much got killed at the end there.
yeah, yeah, and
But still, and then AJ felt like partially responsible.
which I mean, like I see what he's saying, but like he can't really put that on himself. Like
No,
that was
but you figure you're with them, you're in
mhm,
you're that faction,
right.
you're in the
Well,
OC with them, and then you survive. It's like survivor's guilt.
mhm.
Um,
Well, and to I'm not sure if you saw this, Matt, but Anderson put out a teaser video of him going back to to New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I definitely feel that's probably where both him and Gallows are going back to. I think it's probably where they
Safe
it's
bet.
probably yeah it's probably where they best fit in my opinion. I just don't feel like that they are a good fit in AEW to be perfectly honest with you, and especially too they already have, especially if they pick up Dawson and Wilder, they're already are going to have more than enough tag teams. I feel
And just
I,
talent overall.
right. I think they would just get lost in the shuffle there. To be perfectly honest, I was kind of surprised though. Like I think they only cut how many women's wrestlers. So, I mean, out of them, Sarah Logan, Maria Kanellis, and then
Tiana Perazzo.
who I definitely feel that AEW should definitely go and try to pick up. There is a really good worker in who I feel was never really seriously used in NXT. So I definitely
I,
feel like that.
I felt like she probably. I
um,
mean, the she kind of like is lost in the shuffle because there is still a lot
there's
of
like
talented.
right.
There's a lot of talent there, and it's
And
unfortunate for her because you have look what you have. You have, um, well now you have Charlotte, Ripley, who's technically still there, Ida
mhm.
Shirai, Candice LeRae, um, Tegan Knox, Dakota Kai,
Like
Raquel
I'm like
Gonzalez,
I'm Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. Who
Mhm.
am I missing? Shotzi Blackheart. I'm probably forgetting a lot, but like that talent pool and that in NXT for
Mhm.
the next wave
It's
rem-
insanely deep. It's
they're
insanely deep.
insanely deep. Then you
Mhm.
have, I mean, you have on the main shows and in NXT, their Divas division as a whole
Mhm.
is just so good and so deep that
And
like
that is one thing that AEW desperately needs. They need
they
more solidified
they just need
women.
to build what they have up
Mhm. Yeah.
because like you saw
Which,
like and maybe
which
after every go ahead.
and I was going to say, which we are kind of seeing that we're seeing the actual foundation with girls like of with girls such as such as Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker. They're really in this whole screw up. They're really standing out now because now you're kind of finally seeing them putting on more consistent
Yeah,
performances
and then
and
yeah,
yeah.
and what I was going to say, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Mhm.
as once we say when we get back together and have more consistent shows, you have the Nyla Roses, you have the I'm forgetting, it kind of drops off.
Chris Statlander.
Chris Statlander. Yeah, the alien, good God.
Mm-hmm.
The oh my God, who faced
Big Swole.
That's it. I couldn't think of it. Big Swole. I mean, there's people there.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of just have to give them time to build it up.
Well, and I think too, with the people who are being cut, I also think that one person specifically who I feel that AEW desperately needs to go after, and that's Tessa Blanchard, who I believe her contract is up this summer.
True, yeah.
Regardless of her baggage that she has right now, like she is one of the few women who you can build an entire division around. She, like, from a character standpoint, from a talking standpoint, from a consistent work rate standpoint, she's the best wrestler in the world. In my opinion.
That would that'd be a good get for AEW, just to
it'd be a huge get for because then you can finally start to solidify a good foundation for that division, and also too, I think what also needs to happen too, Kenny Omega cannot be booking this freaking division. I think it's becomes more and more clear by the weeks. And someone who I also feel that AEW should definitely go after. It's definitely Fit Finlay.
Yeah, if WWE doesn't bring him back,
he's one of the guys that you need to bring in to help and to help out with that women's division, because he was instrumental in that whole thing with the women in WWE and NXT. I feel like he would be just such an asset for the company. So if they do these things, I feel like that over the next year or so, you're going to see a steady improvement on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Now we kind of talked about on the MB show. We'll kind of go into more detail. But who would you like to see go exactly where? I mean, I picked obviously with Dawson and like a Wilder signing with AEW. I feel like as far as from a business standpoint, they are going to make the most just because of their constant jabs that they've consistently had with the Bucks. But who do you want to see AEW pick up, man?
I think Rusev would be a good one, because he's talented. I'm trying to think of who got. I'm trying to think of the list because there is a lot of people. Rusev. Oh my God, I can't think of anybody else who got cut.
So I'll just kind of read down.
Yeah, I can find the list.
I'm like Zack Ryder. I would like to see him over there. There's, and just going down the list of names here: Carl Anderson, Leo Rush, EC3, Drake Maverick, Kurt Hawkins, Eric Young, Luke Gallows, Heath Slater, Aiden English, Eric Rowan, Primo and Epico, Mike Kanellis, No Way Jose, and Rusev. And now I could definitely see the likes of Leo Rush. I could definitely see him.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him there. I mean, but he's more cruiserweight. I mean, I don't know if they have room for, like, I don't know, put him in his size. I feel like, I don't know, like I don't know if like a New Japan would be good for him, or an Impact.
Actually, Ring of Honor. I think.
Oh yeah, Ring of Honor.
But I think too that he left there on pretty bad terms, so I'm not exactly sure if he would go back there, but I think he would be looking to sign with AEW. I mean, I could definitely see him wrestling over in Japan, or hell, he could just be fine working on independence too. He was already talking with Joey Janela on being on his spring break show. So like, so who knows what he's gonna do? But definitely a very underrated guy. Like Zack Ryder, I think would do well. I honestly feel like he would be a way better option than what Sean Spears currently is. In AEW, to be perfectly honest with you, just like he was like when Zach was at his hottest, he was one of the most over guys in the whole entire industry at the time. So
Yep.
like just being
Social media show,
so
internet
well,
champion.
yeah, exactly. Like, and two, he has over 2 million Twitter followers. So like he like from a business standpoint, he makes a lot of sense for AEW. Like I don't think, and we also talked about this on the MB show. They're not going to sign everybody. I mean,
It's
Chris,
impossible.
if yeah, first of all, that's impossible, and second of all, you know, TNA did this in the past. Like pretty much, if you were a like ex WWE guy, there was a pretty good chance that they were going to swipe you up. And the thing is, like there's only so many spots in already.
Yep.
You know, I mean, obviously, not right now, but the roster is getting a little bit crowded now because you look at the very top now with guys like Hangman and Jericho and Pac, Cody, and Harper. Jeff Cobb has been coming in and out. Just like they have a lot of people in that spot now. Archer, I mean, and two, they have been building up guys such as Darby Allin, such as Hangman Page, such as
Archer.
Sammy Archer, Sammy Guevara. Like, you know, you don't need to overcrowd this whole entire roster, and like bring and only bringing guys who are going to fit what you want to do into who you're going to actually use and have a plan for. If you're just going to sign these guys just to sign them, like that's that's what killed WCW. That is one of the reasons why TNA was so bad, which is like they had an overcrowded roster with guys who they weren't using, and that's the last thing that they should be doing. So hopefully AEW learns from the errors of TNA, and also WCW just signing up guys just to sign them, because it's proven to be not a very successful formula for professional wrestling companies.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, you can't you can't you can't go from going from WWE saying WWE was oversaturated to AEW being oversaturated, and you're in the same freaking spot.
Right, exactly.
It's I mean, like I said, you can't sign anybody. It's not responsible financially or just for a product's sake. I mean, it's not like it's just AEW and WWE. You know, everybody's all hot on AEW right now, and it's like, oh,
Ring of Honor is still there. Impact is there. New Japan, like
and NWA.
NWA, like there are places for people to go.
Yeah, it's not like
And
there's no work.
no, and I think a lot of these guys and girls who are getting cut are going to see how everything is being currently laid out and
Holy
say,
crap!
hey, yeah, and they're going to say, hey, like where am I going to actually go?
Breaking news: Tamina just got a win on SmackDown.
Super kick and
Oh, this show replay super kick. Yeah, Lance Evans came out. Super kick for the win.
so super kick and like mean stare. And I heard that Lacey ate aided badly on when she tried elbowing Bailey. Oh, I'm seeing it right now. Oh God,
I missed
that
it.
hurt. Oh,
Was she wait? Would she get him good or
or
missed?
basically, or no,
Because I
like
missed it.
or no,
Oh, well, I'm seeing it.
yeah, she hit her, and basically when she was going down, her like teeth like apparently just went like right on the floor on the floor right there. That looked a bit gruesome,
Oh,
but
that was a good hit.
mhm, sure
Anyhow,
was. But yeah, but supposedly according to the Observer and Sean Ross that we're going to be seeing more and more cuts coming along with in the next few days, could be with in the next week, um, and uh, and and Matt, I'm not sure if you saw this earlier today, um, but supposedly they're not going to be even they're going to be taping shows now. Because if you recall last week that basically Vince said, "Hey, we are going live every single week now." But
yeah, SmackDown's live right now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm not sure if they probably had some conversations with both USA and Fox, and they're probably being a little bit more lenient on what's going on. But I mean, like it's just, and we talked about this last week. It's completely irresponsible to just try and do trying to do live shows on a weekly basis. I mean, I wouldn't just it's that is not the time to be doing these tape it and try to be as safe as possible with this. So I'm really happy that they're doing that. And any thoughts on that there, man?
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, if you're gonna do shows, I think you just tape like for a month's worth, and then just send everybody home, and then go by like a month by month basis, if you will, and then see. I mean, it's not a good look to have everybody come on a Friday or Monday or Wednesday, what have you, then go back home, and then like fly back. I'm just thinking like for Corey Graves and Carmelo, since I live here in Pittsburgh. So you're saying come back, fly back to Pittsburgh for like 5 days, 6 days, and then on the morning of however they work, fly back to Florida, get off, go tape a show, come back, relax, do whatever you have to do, and then keep flying back and forth. I mean, as long as you really don't have to wait in lines, but still, that's not the point. I mean, get everybody there, who you're going to need, however you need to do it, and just record and then go home.
And did you also see that supposedly that they're going to be taping Money in the Bank on top of a Titan Tower?
I saw that they taped something. I went, how is that even possible?
I was like, well,
that's different. That's different.
I was like, well, that's going to look a little bit different there, isn't it?
I'm interested to see if it's the whole show. I'm kind of interested to see that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But then don't they have to build something? Because if you have the money in the bank briefcase, how's that? It's not hanging from the sky or a helicopter. Oh, maybe. I want to put past fence. We're gonna hang it from a helicopter, pal.
I love it. Let's do
it. Wind blowing in the ring. They can't see. Like But that's intriguing to say the least. I mean, it's something different.
Yeah, sure.
You have the background noise of the town instead of empty arena. You have air and wind and what have you. I don't know.
Yeah. But and there was also, Matt, some big MMA news. I'm not sure if you were even paying attention to this, but supposedly the crazy man Hannah White, he's at it again. Supposedly he's targeting a return date for the UFC. Since the state of Florida has made professional wrestling and essentially any sports essential business. So I believe this is probably where Dana is probably finding a possible way to get back to into business. And one of the dates that he's targeting is actually on your birthday, which is May 9th.
No, yeah, tell everybody that. Tell my
Yeah.
phone number and my first pet.
You see, hey Rocky.
Well, if I'm hacked, thank you, John.
Okay, but as of right now, um, Brad Okamoto of ESPN reported this earlier this week that supposedly that the show would be headlined by Tony Ferguson by versus Justin Gaethje, along with two other title fights of of Amanda Nunes versus versus Felicia Spencer and also Henry Cejudo versus Dominic Cruz, who this would be Dominic Cruz's first fight in over 2 years, which makes no sense to me, by the way. But like, man, just by seeing this card, I mean, like, if this thing happens, man, like, this is going to be the most stacked show I have ever watched. Like, three title fights, and then on top of that, Matt, you have Francis Ngannou versus 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 Rosenstrike, Jeremy Stevens versus Calvin Cater, Donald Cowboy Cerrone versus Anthony Pettis. Greg Hardy is going to be fighting on this card. Michelle Watterson versus Carlo Esparza, Jacare Souza versus Uriah Hall. Like, just, man, like, even the freaking prelims on this thing is going to be insane. Like, I'm praying that this thing gets cleared and they have to go uh, uh, ahead with this. I don't care that it's going to be in front of zero fans. I think that the bigger question is, where exactly do you hold this event at? Like, could we see it possibly happening at the WWE Performance Center? I mean, like you can't exactly roll it out. Like, do they go into one of the actual venues? But also, if they open up everything in like a Vegas, they could also go to their Apex Center there in Vegas. But I think regardless, though, they probably are going to be starting to air some events probably in the next few weeks here, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why they couldn't do the performance center. I mean, all you have to do is basically replace the ring with a UFC ring. You have, yeah, you have basically have a stage. They could walk out on the stage. It's going to look different,
Right.
but lights. I mean, it's going to look big time.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, you don't need like 50 million people in the place. I mean, your judges, cameramen, they could probably get around it if it's in the central business. If they get, however, that loophole or whatever happens. So yeah, I mean, its place. You have a place. It's there. I mean, why you need an empty arena when you have nobody there? I mean, it's just going to look just weird. At least with the performance center, it's right there. You walk out, bam, bam. It's quick, and it's. I mean, like I said, you just have the space. Well, now to me, it's easier.
Absolutely. I just want to see some freaking fights. I want to do a if you like sports book bets on these fights, man. I need my fights. All right, I need them. I need some entertainment, Matthew.
I, I'm okay. I can stop when I want.
Yeah, yeah, says man who is scratching nervously right there.
That's, the addict. I
Okay,
pump it into my veins.
yeah, okay. Pump that into my veins. But okay, so also another thing I wanted to touch on, Matt. Did you catch Jimmy Snuka on the dark
I did.
side of the ring? What were your initial thoughts with that there?
Um, a lot of stuff that I didn't know. First off, it was well produced, like always.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff that I didn't know, um, because I really just knew about stuff back a couple years ago when the charges got brought up. I guess
Mm-hmm.
again,
Yeah.
but this didn't look good for Vince. Um, whether the stuff they said about that behind the door meeting that wasn't
Mm-hmm.
um, didn't have any transcripts, and he was
Mm-hmm.
there, and charges weren't brought up against Snuka back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Very convenient, as Eddie Bravo would say.
yeah,
Very
very
convenient.
convenient. Um,
Look into
as
it.
my headphones fall off. Um, yeah, it just it wasn't a good look if everything they said is true. Um,
Which I absolutely believe that all of this is true. It's just
no,
like just just that whole sheriff's department just looks really sketchy. Vince looks really sketchy. Like how basically that they had all of this evidence and they said, oh, we don't have enough evidence to prosecute this, and then like obviously 30 years later, what really got the ball rolling was when Snuka published his auto his autobiography, where which made I believe a someone from the Allentown paper pretty much research into start to write up a story which eventually led to the prosecution's office reopening the case, um, where they found Jimmy Snuka's ex girlfriend's um, um, autopsy report, and basically from what they determined was, hey, we have enough evidence to at least charge him with I believe it was third degree murder. I I think that's what they said on the dog. So yeah, I mean, like, and after seeing that, like, and supposedly according to his ex girlfriend's um sisters, that supposedly Vince offered to pay them $25,000 just to make them shut up and not say anything. So he definitely had this covered up. I feel in some form or fashion, and needless to say, it hasn't been exactly a very good week for for the old boss man. Don't you say,
yeah,
man?
yeah, no, it's uh, it's a week you just want to be like the Simpsons meme and just go back into the bush.
Yep, like um, I mean, like it's just like between the XFL, between this,
The
obviously,
yeah,
yeah, the XFL just filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I mean, it's just what a disaster to say the least. But a very good documentary. And 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 for next week, it's on the death of Dino Bravo, which that I'm really interested in. Which that story is pretty crazy as well. and it's pretty dark as well on top of that. So I'm really interested to see how that goes, because I believe they had the likes of Jimmy Hart, um, Jocko Joe's on there, and, I'm not sure how many other people that they have on there, but that's really interesting. And then I want to say that right after that is the finale, and that's the death of Owen Hart, which
That's going to be
that,
interesting.
that one is going to be. That's also that's also not going to pin. That's also not going to pin Vince in a very kind light either. So
No, it's not. It's not going to be. It's not a good week. It's
yeah.
something he wants to rewind, just not bring up anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I'm looking forward to Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. And our weekly discussion on the coronavirus. Just so Matt, from what I saw here, New York extended its quarantine, should say, until the 15th of May. Also, also Tom Wolf, the Pennsylvania governor, has opened up 806 liquor stores to help out with the sale
Online sales,
of
yeah.
yeah of alcohol. Also, we also found out this week that with Donald Trump, he's assembling a task force to assist to open up to open up sports to open up sports once again. Vince McMahon, Dana White, um, Roger Goodell, Adam Silver, just a few of the names who were on that task force. So I wonder how long it's going to take for these leagues to get back open. I mean, we've talked in the past few weeks that with that with a baseball, they're talking about holding all of the games in Arizona. And according to Ken to Ken Rosenthal, that seems to be the most unfeasible action there. So we'll see where that goes to. And Matt, you and I were just talking about this before we aired here. Jacksonville opened up their beaches there,
We're
which
screwed.
yep, we're surrounded by freaking idiots.
Yeah,
And you're seeing and you're seeing all kinds of protests over it in California too, and
I think
everything. It's
Michigan's one. Yeah. Um, we gotta be smart when we start opening stuff because you have to do like the essential businesses first because if you go too much too soon, then everything's for naught, and then we're back to square one, and you don't want to do that. Um, this is why I'm not in charge. I'm not a doctor because I would be screwed right now. Um, yeah, you have to take it very slow. It has to be a slow, incremental reopening if you are going to reopen. I think beaches shouldn't be one
that.
because that's too many people in one place,
Mhm.
especially us young people, like the Zoomers, as the generation below us is. Like you saw with spring breakers going, and then they get it, and then if you get it, and if you're asymptomatic, I think I said that right,
Mhm.
and you don't know, and then you go home to whoever, and they give them to them, and they're sick, and hopefully the unfortunate doesn't happen. I think at beaches, I think people can live without sitting on the beach for a little bit longer because it's not really a necessity. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know what a lot of business open up, but like more food places and stuff maybe, and um, maybe easing on like stores like Walmart and Target, which they're having restrictions of how many people get in. I think a local store here has like one-way traffic through a store,
Mhm.
so people just don't get bunch up. You go through,
It's
get your
smart.
stuff. It's like IKEA. You have one-way traffic.
Yeah, it's smart. Just you just like people have to be smarter, and I get that everyone's antsy. Hell, I've been feeling it, but it's the situation that we're in. Like I mean, like it's not going to get any better if you don't have control over yourself, and you can't just like, dude, just stay at home, trying to limit the spread of this,
Yeah,
because it's going to take some time. Like it's like and hell, like it might take a full year before everything's back to what it should be, and if it takes that long, then so be it. Like it's something that we all have to deal with.
yeah. It was a matter of time before everybody is getting antsy and
Yeah.
starting to get mad. Like, why is this closed? Why? Like, you see with at least our governor, I see on Facebook just saying, "Oh no, we're not going to open just yet," and everybody's like, "That's terrible. We need to get stuff going." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, are we this like greedy? And like, I knew this was going to happen with us. Like, I feel like it's every other country, like I don't know, Italy example, or either South Korea. Like, people fall in line, people listen, people do their job, and it sucks, but they do it, and then they reopen up with even probably more stricter guidelines that we faced. It's not like the stay-at-home order was like you leave your house, you're arrested. I mean, I've seen a ton of people out. I've been around just basically just going to the store or real quick, but like you're allowed to per se go out. You just can't go in the restaurants. You can't big gatherings. You just can't go. And I think we can survive. I mean, I survived. I mean, my situation's a lucky one. I don't want to disparage or discount what anybody else is going through with maybe not even getting money or having to go through unemployment. I mean, I think you and me were the lucky ones here. One of the lucky ones. But like,
yeah. I mean, for me, I'm like essentially nothing from a job standpoint has really changed. Just obviously, I've been at home since the 25th of March, so that's kind of where things currently stand there. But business as usual, luckily.
you know,
But
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 I don't want to speak for you, but at least for me, I'm making the best of it. I'm having stuff. I'm finding stuff to do, be it stuff on the computer, doing this, other shows we're doing, watching TV or playing games or what have you. So
I feel like since it's due that I've been trying to think of some more ideas for the channel here. I know, just talking with Brian too. He's been thinking about some things to possibly do with him as well. So but but like I said, more to come on that. And Matt, I think this is probably a good place
yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah,
to stop here. But anyways, guys, thank you as always for tuning in this week. Just as always, make sure that you tune in to our weekly reaction show for both AEW Dynamite and NXT every single Wednesday. Also, I'm going to be a a a weekly host on the MP show. Every Friday we just talk a good for a good of 30 minutes about about whatever that we want to actually talk about. But like this video, subscribe, um, hit the bell for all future big videos, and the follow the Matt and John Make a Podcast Twitter page. And for Matt, For John, we shall see you again on Wednesday for the reaction show. Stay safe, everybody.